Hey guys, welcome to today's reading. So this is actually a lot different than what I usually do. Well, first of all, I usually shuffle and pull the cards on camera, but because this reading is a little bit different, I just didn't want to have you guys wait until I get all these cards out. So my guides have been pushing me to do a reading to see what it is that your masculine wants to tell you right now. And this is because I feel like this time period is just very, very critical. There's a lot going on, and because a lot of you might not be in contact with your masculines, or even if you are, they might not be able to express what is going on with them because a lot of them don't even fully understand it, or for different reasons. I was guided to do this so that you can see what it is that your masculine would want to tell you at this point in time. So I used 6 different oracle decks, pulled a card from each, and then clarified each of them with tarot and the Mystic Moon Oracle, okay? So yeah, let's actually get started and see. So I got 2 tarot cards just for the overall theme of this reading, or what is it that is the most important thing for the feminine to know right now. So let's see. Oh, we have, this is Judgment and the Ace of Cups. Wow, what an amazing start. This is amazing, you guys. So Judgment in this deck is called the Awakening, Emergence, and I love the image on this card. Now I can see why I was guided to use this deck rather than any of my other tarot decks. Look at that image. Look at the third eye opening. This is the masculine awakening. Not only awakening, but this Judgment is all about searching within your own self, making discernments, having self-awareness, having insights. And I love that in this deck it is even called the Awakening. Like, I think that it couldn't have been more perfect to start off this reading. And then followed by the Ace of Cups. And this is all about self-love, right? This awakening is helping them to find their self-love. A lot of them have struggled with a sense of self-worth. What are they deserving of? What are they worthy of? And therefore, staying in toxic situations or toxic relationships or a toxic way of thinking. It all stems down to that. But this awakening is helping them to actually tap into their intuition, find their self-love, their sense of self-worth, and be guided by this rather than the toxicity that has been guiding them for a long time. All right, I can't wait to see what else is gonna come up. Okay, so this is from the Gaia Oracle deck. We have the Search, feeling lost, confused, and lonely. So they have definitely felt confused, lost, and lonely in the past, but right now this is exactly it. This is exactly like the Judgment. They are searching. They are searching for the answers. They are searching for themselves. They are searching to see what is it that is going on in their lives and how can they change these feelings of confusion or feeling lost. What is it that is missing? And clarifying, we have the 9 of Pentacles and forgiveness. So actually, what's coming through is that the messages here, yes, they are what your masculine wants to tell you about themselves, but this is also going to be messages for you that you can also apply for yourself. Okay, so with this 9 of Pentacles here, clarifying the search, this search that they're doing, they are finding how to become more independent, how to feel strong within their own sense of self. And a part of that might actually have to be forgiving themselves. A lot of them have been holding on to a lot of guilt and shame from the past. And a lot of that shame and guilt has actually been suppressed. And this is coming up to the surface in order for them to be able to forgive themselves. Because if they don't forgive themselves, they're not going to be able to tap into this Ace of Cups, this self-love, and move forward to you. They have to forgive themselves first in order to find that sense of self-worth. And the message here for you is to do the same. Maybe you are holding on to a little bit of resentment, either for yourself or maybe even for your divine masculine. Maybe for somebody that's irrelevant to all of this from your past. Letting go of resentment is going to help you to get into this Nine of Pentacles energy. Being able to stand on your own 2 feet, feeling like you are successful. And this is exactly what they are finding with this awakening. They are finding their own success within themselves. Success is not only money and finances and material things or social status. Success is, it comes from within. And whether they are processing this information consciously or subconsciously, it doesn't matter, because they're still going to have the effect. And for a lot of them, it is going to be on a conscious level. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This is the Energy Oracle deck, and we have the Thinking Woman. Okay, so that's interesting. Let's see the clarifiers. We have the Eight of Cups, and the answer is yes. Okay, so with the Thinking Woman, when we get this for the Divine Masculines, for me, it shows that they are tapping into their feminine energy, balancing out the feminine with their masculine energies. And what does this mean? This means that they are becoming more receptive to their intuition, because the feminine way of thinking is more receptive. It's more intuitive, whereas the masculine, like their primary way of thinking is a little bit more like in a box, right? It's more concrete. The feminine is can be more abstract and more intuitive. And the masculine is more in the 3D. And so to me, this means that they are beginning to think, adding that feminine quality to the way that they are thinking. And this is what's helping them to see that there is something that they need to let go of, right? This Eight of Cups in this deck, it says codependency. The Eight of Cups traditionally is walking away from what no longer serves you. Codependency for a lot of them. And it doesn't necessarily have to be another person. It can be an addiction, or just a way of thinking, a negative way of thinking, or negative beliefs that they might have about themselves, or even about the connection with their divine feminine. And then we have the answer is yes, because they are receptive. Yes, to their intuition, right? To being receptive, to the feminine energy, in collaboration with their masculine energy, of course. Saying yes to leaving behind what no longer serves them. And so the message here for you would be to ask yourself, what is it that is no longer serving you, that maybe you feel like you need to let go of, but you are hesitating? Whatever it is, let that go. And you know what? It might even be this connection with your masculine. It might even be that. If it's causing you to feel like you are dependent on this, if it's causing you to feel like it's making you imbalanced, very stressed, and that it's keeping you back from being able to move forward in your life, then for you, this might be what you need to just release for now and step into this Nine of Pentacles independent type of an energy that we saw here. Okay, let's move on. We have, the next one is from the, I think this is the House of Night Oracle. And we have Forbidden. Okay, that's interesting. But yeah, I mean, so this might not apply for all of them, but for a lot of the masculines, they may have felt like this connection with you has been forbidden in some way. It doesn't mean that it really was, that this was based in reality, but from their perception, it may have been forbidden. Or maybe they have been engaging in something else that that is forbidden. Something that they feel they shouldn't be doing. Okay, but I'm mostly getting that they that for a lot of them, they felt that your connection was forbidden in one way or another. Okay, you don't have to take that word too literally, but it could be that, let's say, one of the two of you was married, one of the two of you was in another relationship. Maybe there's a very big age gap between the two of you. Maybe you come from different cultures where it's looked down upon to be with somebody outside of that culture. Maybe it's a social status thing. It could be anything. So let's actually see. Okay, wow. The Queen of Pentacles. Okay, you guys, this is actually, in tarot, this is the card that represents a karmic partner for me. And then we have third party. Okay. Can't make this up. Okay, so obviously for a lot of them, it is a karmic partner. Okay, just plain and simple. Queen of Pentacles here. And then for a third party, yes, the third party could definitely be a karmic partner, but not necessarily. Just as shown in this image, it could be that they are workaholics. It could be just a specific job that they would need to leave behind in order to move forward. And it could be maybe their social status here, that is the third party, that is making them feel like this is forbidden. It could be anything. And it doesn't even really matter. We have the Eight of Cups here, walking away from what no longer serves them. And that could definitely be a third party, regardless of what that situation is. It could even be a random person. It doesn't have to necessarily be a partner. It could even be an addiction. It could be a way of thinking. And maybe their own way of thinking was actually the third party, making them think that this connection in one way or another is forbidden. Not necessarily by others. I have to point that out too. But maybe to their own self, they feel like, no, this is forbidden. I can't be in a connection where, this person is, let's say, 10 years older than me, or 15 years older than me, or comes from this other culture, or or this is just something that's completely outside of what I would normally do. It could be anything, okay? And then the question here for you is, what is it that maybe you are holding on to again? What is it that you are not, that you are like in a box still and seeing things from a conditioned point of view, conditioned by society? What might be your blockage from moving forward? Because your moving forward is also helping them to move forward. Okay, so then we have the romance angels. Let's see. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So this is just a very direct and straight up message from your masculine to stay optimistic. That this is what they're doing. They're awakening. They're finding their self-worth and their self-love. They're working on this forgiveness within themselves. And even if they're not like consciously trying to do this, the universe is just sending them all of these situations that is forcing them to wake up in this sense, forcing them to find their independence within themselves, to leave behind what is no longer serving them. And for a lot of them, as we see here, I love that this is right next to it, is this third party situation, whatever that might be. And so they're telling you, stay optimistic. Don't stay codependent, as we have right here, but you can stay optimistic about your life in general, and including this connection, that it will work out in the way it's meant to. And then look at that, clarifying, we have the King of Cups. And it says healer. So they are healing. Okay, they're healing. Stay optimistic. They are healing. And the King of Cups is also very emotionally stable. So a lot of these masculines, they have not been emotionally stable in the past, right? They were in and out, fluctuating with their emotions, in denial, suppressing emotions, maybe having multiple partners, maybe being afraid of commitment. Whatever the case was, they are now healing that and moving towards their emotional stability. And I love this because it is so closely related to this Ace of Cups. Sorry guys, my throat is acting up again. Okay, and then together with that, we have solitude. So this is why this separation was needed. They needed to be alone, is what they're telling you here. They needed to be alone in order for all of this to start manifesting and to start coming up in their lives. And then the message here for you is, are you in high vibe or are you in low vibe? It's okay to be low vibe occasionally. That's how you heal. That's how you can find what it is that you actually do need to heal. Right? But just don't dwell in pessimism. Where is it that you might need some time alone? And it's also saying, that it's okay. It's okay to be alone for a certain time period. Like, don't get on yourself for having been alone all of this time. Don't hold resentment for that. See the positive in that. What have you accomplished by actually being alone? How much have you emotionally matured? How much of your emotions and what is really going on within you have you been able to discover from spending this time alone with yourself? Right? This is how you have had your awakening. Right? This is how you are finding your own Ace of Cups as well. And this is what is moving you forward, and this is helping them as well. Because the masculines are usually a step behind the feminines. So you moving forward in this way, you are leading the way for your masculine as well. Okay, so solitude, what I'm getting here very, very strongly is that it is not a bad thing. Yes, it can get lonely after a certain amount of time. It can get very frustrating. But stay optimistic that everything is going to work out, because this is exactly what I'm seeing here. This is very amazing energy. Guys, I was really not expecting it to be like this. I was expecting to see more of some of their struggles. But wow, this is really amazing. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. And we have, this is the Wisdom of the Oracle. And we have why. Exactly what we've been talking about. They're asking themselves and you asking yourself these questions. Searching for the answers within you and actually bringing all of this up to the awareness. Like, actually, let's see, before I continue, let's just see here. Okay, we have the Seven of Swords and New Direction. Okay. So this is all about, the Seven of Swords, right, is deceptive energy. Moving away from that, asking, where have I been deceiving myself? This is what they are doing, and this is, I feel like, what they are asking you to do. Are you still wearing some sort of a mask? What are you denying from your own self? Because this is what they are now discovering. This is what they are looking into, asking the whys. Why have I been wearing this mask? Why have I been deceiving myself? Why have I been deceiving my divine feminine or anybody else as well in my life? Asking this why. And with the New Direction, this is them moving away from that, moving in a new direction, taking that mask off, wanting to move away from this deception. And I feel like this isn't only what they want to do, because the purpose of this reading was their messages to you of what is going on right now. This is what they are doing. And I mean, awakening, judgment, the very first card out. So again, for you, ask yourself also these questions. What is it that you still need to forgive? What is it that you can walk away from that is no longer serving you? Is your heart telling you to go somewhere else in this new direction? What is serving as a third party in your own life? And it might not even be in relation to this connection. It could be anything. Okay, so let's move to the last one. This is the Sacred Traveler's Oracle. And, okay. Wow, answering the call. The time is now. Could this end any more perfectly? Like, seriously. Answering the call. The time is now. This is the call that they are answering. They're awakening. They're being called to awaken, right? They are being called to walk away from what is no longer serving them, to find their self-love, to forgive themselves, to see what it is that has been forgiven, to ask these why questions, to become more emotionally secure within themselves and with their emotions, to embrace them. And clarifying, we have the Two of Swords and stuck. This makes perfect sense. Actually, the Two of Swords is a stuck energy. Okay, so this is kind of like the same thing here. And this is what they are answering the call to. The time is now for them to take off that blindfold. If you've seen the Two of Swords in a traditional tarot deck, it's the one where it shows a person, a man or a woman, wearing a blindfold around their eyes and holding two swords, not being able to see some truth, or not wanting to make a decision and just wearing a blindfold so that they don't have to make a decision and just stay stagnant. Okay? This is what they are now being called to get out of. Because also, I love how in this deck, it actually says balance, right? Find their balance by getting unstuck. Taking off that blindfold, which is actually just reminding me also of the Seven of Swords here. What was I talking about? Taking off a mask. And it's just being confirmed here. And so for you, it's the same. What is keeping you stuck? And maybe it's just something you need to forgive. It could be anything. Okay, maybe something from your past. Maybe you need to forgive yourself. Maybe you feel ashamed of something from your past that you can't let go. Like, do you love every part of you? Do you love your mistakes? Do you love your flaws? Yes, you can improve your flaws. And yes, you should improve them and work towards that. But embrace them at the same time as you let them go, so that you can completely release any resentment you have for yourself or for your past and get unstuck. Take that blindfold off and answer the call. And this is also for you feminines. Do you feel like you're being called to step it up on your mission work, or to take a different path in your life for anything? And have you been holding back? Have you been wearing a blindfold? Have you been in stagnancy? Have you been procrastinating from taking the steps forward for whatever you feel like your intuition or your inner guidance is pushing you towards? Just like the masculines have to answer their call, and they're doing it, you have to answer yours too, to help it along. Because otherwise, it's going to be the feminines being left behind, and then the masculines are going to be the ones waiting on the feminines. And I know that sounds crazy, but you wouldn't even know it if that were to happen. You would just be sitting there wondering, why is my masculine still not coming forward? And it would be because the universe is holding them back, not allowing them to come forward because you're the one not ready. That is possible. That's the message I'm getting. Maybe some of you might not agree with me. That's okay. You can take what resonates. But this is the message that is coming through right now. And I think it's very significant, actually. So, actually, I'm getting that this is the most important message in this whole reading right now. It's not even about what the masculines are doing. It's about what you are doing. Are you answering your call? Your time is now. Whatever it is that you need to do. It doesn't have to be mission work. It could be forgiving something. It could be letting go of something, walking away from something, or embracing your solitude, even. Answer your calls, feminines. The time is now. Answer your calls so the masculine can also answer theirs. That's the message. Alright, you guys, if you like this reading, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And yeah, I might do more like this in the future. But until then, till next time, much love to everybody, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.